What's up, everybody? We're back. Welcome to episode 3 of Your Cousins Are Critics. Last I know in our last episode, which was our review for Slacker, we said we were going to review New Jack City.
We lied.
yeah, I don't know. We watched it, and it's
Mm.
not that we didn't like the movie. We liked it pretty well enough. I know you liked it more than I did,
Yeah, I think
but
I think there just really wasn't much to talk about. Like I think the movie explained itself
yeah. yeah,
pretty
right.
well. Like it was just like
Right.
this is about the war on drugs
But
and
if
stuff.
but if you want to know our thoughts on it, it was pretty good. I didn't love it myself. I think I gave it on Letterbox. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Well, okay, Letterbox you can't do that, but I gave it like what was it? 3 stars, which means 6 out of 10. That's how I
The
yeah.
conversion.
Yeah, exactly. And you gave it like what, a 8 or a 9 or something?
I think like an 8 or something. Like it's my type of movie. Like
Yeah.
it's something that I could put on frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think if you're into that type of movie, if you're into a drug crime movie, then you will probably like it.
Yeah. So just in case you wanted to hear our opinions, there we go.
Yeah,
But
we did that in less than a
yeah, exactly.
minute.
But but no, today we are talking about one of my honestly my top 30 favorite movies of all time. Yeah. And one of my favorite comedy movies and my favorite Tim Burton movie
Wow.
that is That's right. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah. This was again his first time watching it, just like Taxi Driver and Slacker. So
This was my first Pee Wee media
yeah,
at
it
all.
was right. Uh, it was mine too when I very first saw it. So I like first time I watched it with my brother whenever we were living with my mom, our mom, and we rented it from the movie store in the town we used to live in. Remember back
Hmm.
whenever mom had a movie store, a
Yeah,
video store?
yeah.
Yeah.
Back
And
in the day,
yeah.
pirated. All of it was illegal.
No, not all of it. I mean, they had originally had, VHS tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I feel like he bought these things like in bulk and then just started a
The
business.
later on, yeah, he had pirated DVDs
Yeah,
and of movies that were like in theaters during that time. I remember,
yeah,
and like a lot of them were recorded like in theaters too. I remember,
right.
like I remember watching Cars with a friend of mine, and like you could see somebody's head walking or okay, that's creepy, someone's head walking, yeah, but somebody's head in the middle of the screen. And I don't know if I mean, I don't think any of our theaters have intercoms, but this theater had an intercom, and you could hear like someone announcing something on the intercom in the theater.
Oh, very weird.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, in one scene. But anyways, we're going off topic, but that's what we do.
That's it, man.
I do the same in my videos, so yeah. But anyways, yeah, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Anyways, I remember really enjoying this film whenever I was a kid. Well, I liked it pretty well enough whenever I was a kid. That like my brother, he was young when this movie came out, so he grew up on this. He grew up in the '80s. I didn't, um, but yeah, and he showed me this, and I liked it quite a bit. And then over the years, I loved Tim Burton. I watched his other
Mm.
films, and I watched this again. I was like, and I just fell in love with it. So, all right, Cade. So, what were your thoughts overall on Pee Wee's Big Adventure?
Listen, in the first 30 minutes, I was real worried
Yeah,
because, and even throughout the rest of the movie, uh, Pee Wee is such a weird character because I
yeah.
found him so not funny that he almost became like the straight man. Like he was just like this guy, and then
Oh,
and then my favorite part was all the weird people who ended up showing up in the last part of the journey, or like the last hour or 45 minutes or whatever.
right.
Like I found
When
those
it, or at
people,
least when the journey started.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I found those people much more interesting than Pee Wee. I would just like uh Yeah, for some reason I didn't find him funny.
at
But
all in the film.
nah, he had a few good zingers,
Okay.
but like I think it's his. It's not that he didn't say anything that was funny. It was more like how he said it that I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I didn't find his. I don't find the Pee Wee character appealing. Um,
I mean, I get you. I get
yeah.
you. He can. I mean, I get why some people would probably not like the character. You know, they would think he's annoying and stuff, and I totally get it. I mean, I don't personally think he's annoying. You know, there's far more other annoying characters
Hmm.
that I've seen that are way more annoying than he is. But no, I mean, I enjoy the character, and I think he's really funny in this movie. Like, I love his just the way he Paul Rubens, the actor who portrays Pee Wee Herman. He I just love I don't know his commitment to the part and just like and I love just his reactions and stuff as his line delivery and facial
Hmm.
expressions are really they really get me in this.
Yeah.
But no, I always enjoyed the character, but I can understand why someone else like yourself not really into it.
Like I didn't find him annoying, uh,
Okay.
but I found him just like there. I don't know too much about like comedy, like different archetypes or stereotypes or whatever.
Mm.
But he's the type of guy. I feel like there was a few guys like Pee Wee, probably like in the 80s and 90s, that were kind of like these just big characters, and the characters was the
Yeah.
whole thing. And for me, like I
Mr.
don't think,
Bean. Mr. Bean was
yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
them.
Like
Yeah.
for me, I'm not really into that. Like I don't find those characters appealing. I like it whenever you can tell that um like a character in a film or a TV show is bringing their real life uh well, who knows? Maybe Pee Wee, maybe Paul acts like that in person. I don't know.
No, not he actually doesn't. He's actually like at least of what I heard, he's actually a pretty chill person in
Hmm.
real life. Like on there's a commentary with him and Tim Burton on here, which both guys you could barely hear them in the commentary, so it's kind of not really a very entertaining commentary to
Uh,
listen to. But you could hear Tim Burton more than you could hear Paul Rubens. Like they both have
huh.
like really low voices, but
Uh,
I could hear Tim Burton okay, but I could barely I couldn't really understand what he was saying. He was like talking really low and stuff. And yeah, the complete opposite of the character.
right.
So yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
okay, so I guess that answers my question, like,
Yeah.
or kind of confirms my statement. I like whenever a comedian in a movie or on stage or whatever is more like enhancing their own personality off stage. Like they're making a joke of their personality off stage. And like for instance, like
Hmm.
on Workaholics, like I love that show.
Yeah.
And all of those guys kind of act like that in real life,
Oh yeah.
but they make it more extreme on the show, obviously.
Gotcha.
And I
Yeah.
find that more appealing than a Mr. Bean or a Pee Wee or even like Austin Powers. I
Yeah.
still like those things, but it's a complete for me it's a completely different genre almost. Like it's still a comedy, but it's like uh it's a bit more like it makes me think of like vaudeville or something. Like classic like stage comedy where it's like, oh, you can tell it's a character because they're going like this the whole time. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so like for me like that part of it um yeah, that part of it didn't really make me laugh too much, but the
Of the other characters and
yeah, and also like it was the other characters and it was like the funniest part was that okay, you have this weird character and then you put him in these situations that are like um tropes almost like they're like film tropes and like tropes about the United States.
right.
And I think that's where it really shined. I didn't like I liked Pee Wee more as the movie went along.
Okay.
In the first 30 minutes
That's good. Yeah.
didn't. care about anymore.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, I even like the first 30 minutes, I even paused the movie. I was like, "You want to keep watching this?" And you're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, just making sure."
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I laughed in the first 30 um,
Yeah,
minutes.
like before the actual adventure started, before his bike got taken,
Mhm.
and yeah, which of course we should mention, spoiler
Oh yeah,
warning,
yeah.
but
Dude's bike gets
yeah,
freaking ripped.
yeah. So yeah, he gets his bike taken from this guy who's his neighbor, who's like a spoiled, who's also immature, just like Pee Wee, named Francis, which might be my favorite character in the movie.
Really?
One of them. Uh, but yeah, and who, by the way, was played by if you ever seen the movie Leprechaun, what's his name? Mark something. Mark Holton. He plays Francis, and he played Ozzy, the really dumb fat dude in Leprechaun. That was the
Mm.
same guy, and I think he also played John Wayne Gacy in a biopic
He really
as
does look.
well.
He does look like a more squishy version of John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
weird.
I
It's
don't know.
really weird.
One of my favorite scenes is the scene with in the beginning with Pee Wee and Francis whenever he's Francis taking a bath in his in
Oh,
that
so weird.
bathtub, and he's like. And he's just like torturing the guy, and we're miles away. No one can hear you.
Meanwhile, his dad is literally like just outside the door.
Yeah,
Francis's dad.
yeah.
That
I love that scene so
I think
much.
that scene's so cool because it's like the production and the sets are like kind of sneaky. Like for the first, like I said, for the first 30 minutes before the actual journey started, I was like, okay, like I didn't even really notice how good the sets were until like that bath scene
Oh
because like
yeah.
it was like a
You-
giant.
Not even his house.
See that's like that's one thing that I just didn't find like
Really?
intriguing.
Damn.
Yeah, because well, I've seen that scene because like the movie starts and he's got all these gadgets in his house that like
Yeah.
you know
Kind of reminds me of like Wallace and Gromit. Like,
yeah
you ever seen Curse of the Were Rabbit?
yeah yeah
Yeah, with Wallace. He's an inventor and he has all this stuff in his house. Yeah, that's what that
it's
kind
like
of reminds me of.
it's that trope where oh this inventor
It,
makes all these cool
yeah.
things but he's not like aware of what they're doing like pancakes are going on the ceiling they're being thrown up and stuff he eats like 3 bites of his breakfast which was just Mr. T cereal.
Well, it was originally like pancakes with like eggs and bacon
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with a face
It
on
looked
it,
it
and
looked
then
great.
he was like, yeah, he doesn't even eat that. He was like playing with it, and, like talking to it like it's his friend. He called it Mr. Breakfast, and
Mm.
he's like, Mr. Breakfast says, "Can I have a bite of Mr. T cereal?"
And he just pours it.
Yeah.
I think. See, okay, so I think that's kind of where the first bit of the movie I was like, I don't know, because like
Gotcha.
I've seen that scene a million times where the
Have you?
inventor, well, like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like the inventor has these crazy gadgets that do all these like they're really meaningless. Like
Oh,
you can make a pancake easy with just your hands and like some butter or whatever, and
yeah.
a mix. Um, but I think like other movies have done the inventor scene a lot better, and so
Okay.
that's why I was like,
Like, can you name any?
I can't honestly,
Oh, okay.
but I remember
I mean, Wallace and Gromit, maybe.
as far as
Maybe that's one.
I'm thinking about live action stuff,
Oh,
like
okay.
as far as like because I mean, whenever I was a kid, watching a bunch of kids movies, like the every once in a while you would run into that inventor scene where they're doing this thing and it's all like
Okay.
weird and wild. And I think this one just wasn't that interesting with
Hmm.
it. But um,
Okay.
but yeah, I think once the the bath scene was probably a switch in my brain. It's like, okay, this is pretty wild.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the one joke where his bike gets stolen, and then there's like a whole like kind of little quick scene movement thing,
with
and then
all the other bikers and
the other
people
bike.
on bicycles.
Yeah, he gets his bike stolen. He's all sad, and then there's just like so many people riding their bicycles around him.
That one with that giant bike with the big wheel.
Yeah, it's like the old style.
There's like a kid that has like a remote control like motorcycle thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Even that got him. I was like, oh,
Yeah, and then
that was funny.
and I think it was the part where it goes to the police station, and she was like, "What makes you think that the Soviets are involved in this?" And I was just like, "Okay, this movie has jokes. Like it's funny. I like it."
I didn't even know. I never paid attention to that joke until today. That was really good.
It was so
It
good.
just opened. The scene opened with that.
It was like after this like kind of more
Yeah.
fast paced, more absurd
Yeah.
comedy, and then it's just like a woman police officer asking them this question.
Yeah,
So
the
funny.
movie starts out kind of very, like a kids movie, like very, kiddish.
Yeah,
or whatever. But then as it keeps going, I mean, it still kind of has that humor, but it also has some other, like some adult humor. I mean, it's a PG movie, but still, which this was the '80s where PG was okay. Now this I can see being PG, but like there was a lot of other PG movies in the '80s that could have been PG-13, but that wasn't a rating yet, know. Hell, there's even some that are like close to R. Like I think there was even a couple that had nudity in them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which I do. I mean, I kind of I don't know. Rating systems are always kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. But
Yeah, I mean, like the kids' movies that we grew up watching, like a lot of them were rated PG, and you like put them up against, like say Spaceballs that has the F word in one scene. Oh, and Beetlejuice as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
That also had an F word, which another Tim Burton movie, of course. But yeah, nice fucking model.
I remember watching that. Movie in daycare.
That's insane.
And I heard one of the workers there, one of the daycare attendant or whatever, they were like, "Yeah, it says the F word in this movie," and that blew my mind up. And I was like, "What word are they talking about?" Like I was trying to think, like fart. Like I was like, "What word are you talking about?"
Did you not catch it? Whatever.
I don't know. Like that was probably one of the first times I've heard that word. So I didn't even know. I probably thought he said like something else. I didn't understand the word at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't catch that scene until like I was a lot older.
You were like, what, like 2, 3 or something like that?
Oh, in daycare?
Or
no, I was in daycare for a while. This was through the school, like because because my mom was at work and stuff, so I just had to stay there and wait for a while.
Gotcha.
So I might have been like 5, 6, 7, maybe.
Oh wow, okay.
Like yeah, it sucked. I hated daycare. I was so bored. I was so excited when I got to walk to my grandma's house after school. That was rocking, dude. Ate Little Debbie's all the time.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Well, okay. So, I mean, what did you think about Paul Rubens' performance as Pee Wee?
Oh, I mean, he did his thing. Yeah. I think, like you said, he committed to it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
I think this might have been before Pee Wee's Playhouse too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think it
have
was.
no idea.
But I think he already had the character actually before this. In fact, Cheech and Chong's next movie, he's in that in one scene.
Oh, really?
Well, he's in the movie. Paul Rubens plays like this character in the movie, but there is one scene where that character happens. He like has his own comedy thing, and he goes up on stage as Pee Wee Herman in one scene in Cheech and Chong's next movie. And he's also in Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams, which is my favorite Cheech and Chong movie, where he plays this crazy person, and he nailed it. I'm not sorry, I took the money.
I mean, yeah, he just goes for it. Like it is kind of a crazy. Like that type of humor, like I said earlier, is not for me. But it's also crazy that someone can do that. Like he's just, because I I would have to have some alcohol in me to act like that and not be like worried that I'm being like making people uncomfortable or something.
Right.
So, uh, yeah, I think he did great, and I think this movie was interesting because it's like a road movie,
Yes.
kind of, but
Yeah.
it's like a really like
It's a road trip movie.
it's a really odd one.
Yeah.
Like it's paced differently than a lot of road movies that I've
Yeah.
seen.
I think it was also an influence on like other comedy road trip movies as well. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I
the
could
classic.
that is very influenced by this
Oh
movie.
really?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I know you haven't seen that one, but if you did happen to watch it, you could definitely tell
Yeah.
it is very influenced by this movie. I mean, they even go to Hollywood just like Pee Wee in this
Oh
movie,
yeah.
and like, yeah, it's very much. But um, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Tim Burton. This was his very first his feature length debut film, and so
Well, okay, that makes a
yeah,
lot of sense. I feel
yeah,
like that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know, was it any different or than some of the other Burton films you've seen?
It seemed like I think that might be what I mean by it was a weird road movie, like it was paced different and stuff. Like it just seemed like I could tell it was Tim Burton, but
Yeah,
I wasn't like overwhelmed with that feeling.
yeah,
Like I saw the whole like German expressionist like influence. Like do you know about like where he got basically most of his influence was like German movies from like the
oh, Burton.
20s and 30s. Yeah, like
Oh,
the
okay.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
way that
yeah.
hallways are shaped and doors are shaped. It's like a lot like that
Okay.
movie. Um, like I
You
could
saw
see.
some of that in this?
Yeah, remember there's a
The
dream
dreams.
scene.
Okay,
Yeah,
the dream scenes were very Tim Burton, like
yeah.
very like with the dinosaur and the clowns and the other
Uh
one.
huh.
Yeah.
Well, even like some of the symmetry, like in the shots or like the props in the shot, were
Yeah.
kind of like had that thing
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Oh, and also Large Marge whenever she made that
Oh yeah,
funny
yeah.
face.
She
Yeah.
got the claymation scary face.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll probably talk about her in a minute, but
mhm.
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
sorry.
it's definitely Tim Burton, but it definitely makes sense that this was his first. Like it seems like things were still getting
Right.
figured out.
And Beetlejuice was his second.
My favorite.
Was his follow up. Oh, really? Beetlejuice
Hmm.
is your favorite
Oh yeah,
Burton?
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I like Beetlejuice. It's not my favorite. Maybe
I've
top.
watched it a million times. I
Right.
think that's why.
My top five or something. Um, this is my favorite actually. Now I do think some of his others are better. It's not his best. I would say Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood are
Hmm.
both better than this. Those are his. I think Ed Wood is probably his best. Honestly, you probably need. Have you seen Ed Wood?
Hmm.
You have seen Edward Scissorhands,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, we might need to do Ed Wood sometime. I
That'd be
think
cool.
I think you would like it. You said you saw the Disaster Artist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you liked it.
Oh yeah, most
It
definitely.
was very much influenced by Ed Wood, like
Oh,
very much
that's cool.
influenced by it. So I think you'll enjoy it. It's very good. It's very good. It's not my favorite. I would say I even like Edward Scissorhands a little bit better than that. I would say
Mm.
that's my second favorite, and then Ed Wood, probably my third. And I like Big Fish as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, Big Fish. Maybe Beetlejuice after that, and the Batman movies are good.
I forgot about the Batman movies
Yeah,
too.
man.
Yeah, I love
Um,
those.
and let's see what else. There's a very underrated one he did called Big Eyes that came out in the last decade with Amy Adams and Christoph Waltz.
Never watched it.
That one's really good. Surprisingly, pretty good. I mean, well, okay, it's pretty good. It could be a little bit better. Things get kind of weird, like in like the second half of the film. It starts out kind of normal, but then it gets a little bit weird, and it kind of caught me off guard too.
Oh
If
yeah.
you've seen the movie, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But no, that one was good. And I have a soft spot for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I know
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people don't like that movie, but I have a soft spot for it. I like it. Of course, not better than the original, but still,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I actually wasn't a fan of Sweeney Todd. I watched Sweeney
Never
Todd.
watched it.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one. I wasn't a fan, but then again, I'm not a musical guy, so. And I had to say that movie could have been better if it wasn't a musical. That's probably a hot take, I know, but it could have been because it was actually a pretty good story.
Right.
It's just there were just so many musical numbers in it. Like every 5 minutes, there was a new musical number, and it
Mm.
just got really annoying. That's why I really don't like about musicals whenever they do that shit, you know.
Yeah. Listen,
But
the only musical anyone ever needs to watch is called The Lure, Lure. It's a Polish movie about
okay,
mermaids, and it is fucking dope. It's only like came out
interesting.
came out within the last 5, 10 years maybe.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Probably like between 5 and 10.
Oh okay.
It's so good. The music's
So
great.
it's not that old then.
No, it's so good, dude. But yeah,
Hmm.
I feel like Tim Burton is he's like a director that like young people get into. Like if you're like, oh
Trying
man,
to get
like
into the directors like him and Spielberg.
or maybe not
Hmm.
even maybe they're not even like trying to be like into movies. He's just someone that like as a young person, I
Okay.
remember whenever we were young, like oh yeah, we watched Beetlejuice and
I didn't watch Beetlejuice until I was a teenager, actually.
oh really?
Yeah.
Well maybe it was
Yeah,
just me.
you watched
But
it, but I didn't watch it
you
until I was a
know, he's
teenager.
got Beetlejuice,
I watched Edward Scissorhands while I was a
Edward
kid. Yeah.
Scissorhands, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Like he's
Yeah.
got all these
Saw that
movies,
one as a kid too.
like kind of kid-ish movies
Right.
that I think people get into at an early age. So I think
I feel the same
that's really
about
cool.
Spielberg too. Like he has
Yeah,
quite a bit of
he's
those
more like the normal. He's the normal version.
of Spielberg's the normal version of Tim Burton.
Well, when it comes to like for kids, yeah, like getting into Tim Burton's movies,
Gotcha.
they're much or getting into Spielberg's movies, like it's much more like action packed and kind of less weird. I think.
Yeah, well, it depends because he has a variety of films, you know,
Yeah.
like Schindler's List, for example.
Oh yeah.
Schindler's
Well,
List and The Color Purple; those are much more serious
that's what I
films.
show to my kids.
Yeah,
Schindler's List.
yeah. Color Purple, which is a good movie, but it's pretty rough too.
I think I only watched that one time with
Really?
my mom, and I don't remember it.
Really?
Is it like a slavery movie?
Kinda. Yeah,
That's what I thought it
it
was.
is, but
I
it's
don't remember.
different. Okay, we're going off topic, so let's not talk about that.
You don't want to talk about the Color Purple?
Nah, I mean we're talking about Pee Wee's Big Adventure, anyways.
Oh.
But nah. Anyway, this is our podcast. We go off topic a lot, but anyways, so so what characters did you like in this film? You liked didn't you like Mickey the prisoner?
Yeah, Mickey's my favorite. He was weird.
The escape convict.
Yeah, he was he was a strange dude.
He was.
He got in trouble because he cut the tag off a mattress, which you can't do,
Yeah.
which is illegal.
You know,
He cut that off.
maybe he didn't. That might just be a metaphor for like murder. You know,
I
or
will.
something.
Well, I think if it was a metaphor, I think that would like.
Or either that, or he just told Pee Wee that he just lied to him and didn't want to tell him the truth.
I feel.
maybe.
I feel
That's
like.
my theory.
I feel like in the Pee Wee world, like cutting off.
Yeah.
I feel like he
yeah.
did cut off the mattress
That
tag.
that makes. I mean, I get that. This is a very like cartoonish
Yeah.
kind of film, so it makes. Yeah.
If he was lying, then I would not like him as much. Like I believe that he cut off that tag, and that's why that's one reason why I like.
You know when those tags they put on mattresses do not remove. Well, I cut one with a knife or something.
And it's so funny. Like he they got pulled over because there was like cops looking for him, and Pee Wee dressed up like a woman.
With
and then-
Hal, by the way, because like he just got these random clothes and a beard for
It's
him.
literally-
for Mickey.
yeah, it's literally Looney
and
Tunes.
glasses. This is a very cartoonish film, which is why I love it.
Yeah.
It's a live action cartoon.
And then Mickey like starts getting attracted to Pee Wee after that. Once he sees Pee Wee,
and
And,
the dress
Yeah.
as a girl.
It was so funny. Like he just kept on.
They were like
Like,
pretending to be a married couple.
yeah. I think he called Pee Wee like beautiful like 2 or 3 more times in the movie or something.
Did he?
At least
I don't
twice. At
remember.
least twice. Um,
If only he was in the movie a little more. Like he was only like during that part, and then at the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why he was only in the movie that
Right.
much.
They had to move on.
Yeah, I really liked him.
Explore more
I thought he was really
characters.
funny.
Yeah. My favorite, okay, maybe besides Francis, but my favorite is Large Marge.
That's so
I
funny.
love Large Marge, man.
Yeah.
Be sure you tell Large Marge sent ya. Like she like made this face like right after.
Man.
It was
Yeah.
the ghost of Large Marge who was in this terrible accident.
She's a
about
trucker.
10 years ago or something.
Yeah, man.
That was great.
This movie had like such good like dumb sayings from America. Like her saying like tell him Large Marge sent you. Like that's such a phrase. Like tell him so and so sent you.
Oh
You know?
yeah?
Yeah, have you ever heard that phrase before?
No.
Like
Oh, vague.
it'll be like okay, so like say I'm a commercial and I'm a celebrity. Say I'm like Bruce Willis and I'm doing a car commercial for Kia and I'll say
Oh,
when you go to
okay.
the dealership tell them Bruce sent you.
Gotcha.
You know, it's something like that. But there's
Yeah, like even YouTubers I've heard say that like whenever they're doing like they have a sponsor.
oh
They're
yeah, yeah.
like or so, or something like that. Maybe I don't know. I
But
could
yeah,
be wrong.
it's like a classic. All you need to know is that it's like a classic American saying. And
Okay.
that's the most obvious one in the movie. There were some other ones that I'm blanking on, but
Oh yeah.
yeah. Or like no, that okay. I was thinking about the Alamo line when all the he's like, I remember the Alamo,
Yeah.
and then all the cowboys.
Yeah, that was hilarious when he lost his memory.
Oh
And,
my god. But yeah, Large Marge is a real character, but
yeah.
it's a shame what happened to her.
Didn't you like Simone, that French girl?
I thought she was charming. I thought she
Yeah.
was like her and Mr. Herman had they just felt very sweet together. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like telling her to like follow her dreams and stuff, go to Paris.
Yeah.
And they were inside this like basically like a Phillips or a Sinclair dinosaur, like a giant one. And she was like, "Watch the sunrise with me," and they were inside the mouth of this giant dinosaur watching the sunrise, and
Yeah.
they're having that like heart to heart conversation.
Yeah, and then outside was her jealous boyfriend Andy,
Who-
the big
He
guy.
looked like Brutus or something.
Bru- Bluto,
Bluto,
from
yeah,
Popeye.
yeah.
He did. He did look like. Actually, hold on for a second. Let me see if that was the same actor from the Popeye movie. That was another movie, by the way, that me and my brother rented from the video store, and I watched back then. Like that was around the same time, and I liked it a lot then too. And then like later on, I watched it later and I loved it again.
Yeah.
But oh, you can keep talking
Um,
while I look this up.
but yeah, so it followed like this trope of like Pee Wee getting into trouble with people, and then sometimes he would like make up with them, like with the biker gang or something.
Yeah.
But other times with
The tequila scene is one of my
oh
favorites.
yeah,
That dance
he
he
starts
did.
dancing. Yeah. But uh, but yeah, man. I don't know what to say else.
Oh,
But
I'm still all right. I'm still looking.
yeah. But yeah, it was funny.
Harris. Yeah,
Towards the end, it was
John Harris
definitely a better
played
movie.
Andy.
Mm.
That's weird. It has a different name right there, but then oh, he was a wrestler. That
Oh,
makes sense. That okay? That's a Silo Sam or
He
something.
died in 2005.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know. That probably isn't the same actor. No,
Mhm.
it's not. It's not the same actor. All right, I was just making sure. I don't know who played Bluto in the Popeye movie, but it wasn't him. I'm trying to think of other characters. The bikers were funny. Let's see, the homeless dude on the train.
Oh gosh.
He was
yeah.
like really annoying.
Yeah, after the freaking boyfriend chased Pee Wee off with a fake bone,
He
fake
jumped on-
dinosaur bone,
he jumped on the
a
train.
And even that's like such an American trope of like, oh, the downtrodden jumps on the train to get from town to town for free.
Yeah.
And-
This homeless guy.
Yeah.
They were just singing these old songs
old
like
American
Jimmy
songs,
Crack
yeah.
Corn and stuff like that.
It was so fun.
She'll be coming around the mountain
Yeah,
as he comes.
and the homeless guy annoys Pee Wee
He
Herman. so bad,
annoys possibly the most annoying person on earth.
but he jumps off the train.
Yeah, that was
Lands
hilarious.
in a field.
Yeah.
Doesn't he land in San Antonio?
Yes, he does. They just happen to. Yeah, is it San Antonio, the home of the Alamo?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, they made it to the Alamo.
Oh yeah, I guess we forgot sort of the most integral part. So Spike gets stolen by Francis,
Yes,
and then Francis feels bad.
I think it was just the guilt, or no, I don't know. Feels bad.
He paid this guy to steal it,
Right.
and then he's like, I don't want it.
I think he was just scared after that encounter with people.
Oh yeah, because
I think that's what it was.
Pee Wee like halfway drowned him.
Yeah. We're miles away. No one can hear ya. Yeah, I think he was just scared. I guess. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So he pays the dude who stole his bike to
Yeah.
hide it somewhere, to get rid of it.
Yeah, and then it ends up in Hollywood in the
Yeah.
third act.
But so Pee Wee starts this like massive journey because he went to a fortune teller
Yeah.
who was like swindling him out of his money and like stole his wallet.
Yeah, so I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that she stole his wallet. I mean, I knew she took it, looked at those pictures of his bike and stuff, but I
Yeah.
didn't know she actually just. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she didn't steal it. Maybe Pee Wee just forgot it.
No, she didn't give it back to him.
Well, I'm saying maybe she could have. It's just that he, after she told him about, where the bike is, he just stormed out, is what I think.
Right, but I mean, like she took it from him to get the photo to see what was going on in his life, and she like
Yeah.
she just didn't give it back to him. She stole his wallet like, straight up.
Really?
Yeah, because he thought that he had it. That's why he left so
I
quick.
think she could have gave it back to him, if he didn't storm off.
Yeah, but he didn't even know that she took it in the first place. So it's like she just
How
took
did
it
she even get the wallet? I don't even remember.
because he like dropped it and pulled out money to give to her, and then she went like, whoop.
He dropped it?
He dropped it on the table.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah, so she was looking in the wallet and saw the
Yeah.
multiple photos of his bike.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, later on, whenever after the large Marge scene, whenever he goes to the restaurant where Simone was working,
Yeah.
he knows that his wallet was gone, so he had to work it off, by washing dishes.
Right.
But yeah, I never noticed that. I never know. I mean, I remembered him saying my wallet is gone and he had to work it off, but it didn't click with me that it was because of that scene earlier with the fortune teller.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just never noticed that until we were watching it and he pointed it out when that
Mhm.
happened. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and basically the fortune teller sent him on this mission that she made up. She was just
Yeah.
looking at signs outside of her place of business, and she
Yeah.
was like,
It's in the
El Paso.
basement.
It's in the
at the-
basement
at the
yeah.
Alamo.
Yeah,
And then he goes there, and the tour guide's like, "Well, there's no basement at the Alamo."
yeah. And they all laugh at him.
I thought it was kind of funny too. Whenever she's like, "Well, he asks well, he tries to ask where the basement is, but she's like, no question till after the tour." And then like he's just there, just bored out of his mind, just like,
Yeah.
"Come on, hurry up!" And just seeing him really bored, just like that was pretty funny.
It seemed like the most boring tour.
It was like I know that she was like, which I mean, she was a nice lady and all, but she was like trying so hard to be be funny and
Mhm. Yeah.
and everyone else I think was having a good time, but he wasn't.
No, he was not.
It was funny.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much. She sent him on this fake mission basically, but
Yeah,
everything works out in the end.
yeah. We didn't talk about Dottie, the girl that had a crush on him, and he just kept pushing her off and stuff.
Yeah, I think Mr.
Who,
Herman's got.
by the way, I should mention. Sorry to cut you off, but she is actually played by Elizabeth Daily, E.G. Daily, however you want to say her name, who voiced Tommy Pickles from Rugrats. That's who played Dottie.
Mm.
So yeah, uh, go ahead.
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman's got vulnerability issues. I think he's
Yeah, what does that mean exactly?
like he's afraid to be himself around people. So
Oh,
he's like he was avoiding like going on a date with her because
yeah.
he was like that's just my theory, a
Okay.
game theory.
It was I don't know, just seeing them together first in the bike shop was kind of funny. Just like he says, "You don't want to get caught with me. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel." And he's like, "What do you say?" That line, it always makes me laugh because his voice changes at the end. He's like, "There's things about me you don't want to know about, Dottie. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand."
Yeah, I thought
Like,
it was good.
yeah, it's like his voice changing whenever he said things you shouldn't understand. Yeah. Now I like Dottie though. She was pretty cute, and yeah, I kind of felt sorry for her because she honestly loved Pee Wee, and he just kept pushing her away.
Yeah, but not in like they ended up going on a date.
Right at the end of the film.
Yeah, like it wasn't like yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably just how they flirt and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
So I guess one more thing we could talk about is the ending. He finally got his bike. He's in Hollywood. Um, he stole it from the set. They're I don't know what they were doing, like a show or a commercial or
It's
something
like a
with this
show.
kid.
Yeah.
And of course, was a bratty kid. One of those typical child stars.
Well, bro, he was more than just he was like a
Which I gotta say, that actor was really good.
well,
They played that kid.
like he was more than just a bratty kid actor. Like he was like a bratty adult actor. Like that's how he acted. Like he seemed like a diva, like
Yeah,
blockbuster actor. Like he
yeah,
was like making fun of all the older people there. Like he was like, at least I know my lines, and like just like controlling the director and stuff like that.
yeah.
So it was kind of wild. But
Yeah, and Pee Wee, disguised himself as a nun because it was like with these nuns that were there in the show,
yeah.
and I think he was like the kid was playing an orphan or something like that.
Mm.
And anyways, about yeah, Pee Wee steals the bike and stuff. One of my favorite parts is whenever he takes the bike, he's like, "I'll just take this," and goes off, and then the director, before he says. Go stop that nun. He looks at the script to see him.
He's
That
waiting.
was it.
Yeah. That was so funny. That was a good touch.
Yeah,
That was a good touch.
that was hilarious. Um, and then you get this big chase scene, which I gotta say probably one of the best movie chase scenes ever.
It was crazy.
At least in a comedy movie, for sure. I would say this and the chase scene in Raising Arizona with Nicolas Cage. You ever seen that movie?
Probably like 10 minutes on TV or something.
Oh, okay. We might need to watch that
I'd love to.
sometime.
I'd love
It's
to.
a great film. It's hilarious. There's a really good chase scene
Mm.
involving Nicolas Cage.
Do you own it?
Yes, we could watch it sometime.
That sounds
Future episode.
good.
I don't know when, but
Good.
sometime. But anyways, but yeah, great chase scene. Even in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they even kind of have a similar chase scene in that movie with them, being chased. But in Hollywood, so yeah, definitely influence on
Oh
on
yeah.
that movie. Um, but yeah, and he keeps ruining sets. He goes on these sets of these other movies like a Godzilla and a surfing movie and a Christmas
Yeah.
commercial. I don't know if
Something.
that was a movie, but a commercial, and even a Twisted Sister music video as well.
Let's go.
But yeah, it was funny seeing Twisted Sister in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just like ruins all these sets, and then after he escapes, gets out of Hollywood, he runs into this burning pet store and has to save all the animals.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I like the monkey that was helping him.
Oh yeah.
That was cute. Yeah, and the snakes. At the end, he didn't like snakes, but he ran out with the snakes.
Yeah. He was avoiding grabbing the snakes the whole time until the end.
Yeah.
And just had them in his hands.
Which-
like this.
Now, one thing I noticed was that shot with him looking at the snakes. I noticed in the background that there was still some fish left,
Yeah, those fish are dead.
and I was like, oh hey, you still got some fish left in there.
And
But
he didn't listen.
no, he did actually, because whenever the cops, whenever, because he passed out from the snakes,
Yeah.
whenever the cops is like, hey, are you okay? And he goes, there's still some fish left
Oh, he
inside.
did. He
Yeah,
did.
so I'm so glad that they mentioned that. Like, I kind of think maybe that was almost like a error on their half, but maybe they noticed and they're like, all right, say that, or so, I don't know, maybe I don't know, but that was I'm actually glad that they put that in. Is there's still some fish left inside, so yeah. But anyway, so and then he gets arrested for ruining all those sets, but then like a Hollywood executive, was like, we like your story. We want to make this into a movie, which is pretty ridiculous ending, but it works though.
Yeah.
I have to say. And they got James Brolin, Josh Brolin's dad, to play Pee Wee in the movie.
Which is so epic.
Yeah, they made it like a James Bond kind of film.
Yeah, he's such a
like
Chad.
Which he definitely looked like a James Bond character, but he wore the Pee Wee Herman suit.
Yeah,
It was pretty
yeah, he did.
funny.
And Pee Wee's character in the Pee Wee Herman movie within the Pee Wee Herman movie was spectacular.
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about his cameo?
Yeah,
Pee-wee's
as the hotel guy.
Mr. Herman, Mr. Pee Wee Herman, you got a telephone call at the front desk.
Yeah,
Which
his
I guess
voice completely
I'm
changed.
kind of thinking maybe that was supposed to be like a dub kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I bet you it was probably Paul Rubens doing the voice too.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking like it was probably supposed to be like a dub kind of thing.
Yeah.
They dubbed someone else as his voice. I don't know. That's what that kind of felt like to me. So yeah, and then the last scene is at the drive-in, which by the way is where Dottie wanted to go with Pee Wee on their date, and they did. They had that drive-in premiere of the Pee Wee movie,
Mhm.
and then you see all the people that he runs into on his journey, like Mickey and Simone,
He's
and
in a police van.
and yeah, van. I thought that was kind of
Well, it looks like it's like a prisoner transport vehicle.
Okay.
Like, those big buses.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Cops got like a shotgun pointed at him
yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, he tried to
Oh.
get him out too with,
Yeah.
with the file and the hot
Yeah,
dog,
yeah, it
the
was so
foot
funny.
long.
He said, I got you a foot long. Like Pee Wee walks up with a foot long. Says,
Yeah.
I got you a foot long.
Yeah, and
And
then
then the
he
cop-
pulls out the cop's like, wait a minute.
Pulls out a fucking file.
All right, here you go.
And then Mickey's like, nice try, Pee Wee. Nice try.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
And yeah, the bikers and the
Mhm.
oh wait, did we talk about the biker scene? I don't know if we did, but that was
yeah.
well,
we
I think we did mention the
We mentioned,
tequila
yeah.
part whenever the dancing.
Yeah.
But that was funny. What I think is really funny about that scene is, of course, in the movie, it was after he lost his memory. He goes there to because there's a telephone there, which has that funny part where he's like, "I'm trying to use the phone,"
Mhm.
and they're like, he's like, "Motherfucker, get out of here." They say this is the lair of the Satan's helpers. They call
this is
themselves.
the bike club, or the
Yeah.
bike gang is the Satan's helper.
Yeah, and then as he goes outside, he happens to knock all the motorcycles over. So they're like, "Let's kill him," and he's like, "Wait, don't I get a last request? And they're like, why not? And that's when the tequila part comes on. But my favorite part is that the fact that whenever he started dancing, it showed them the looks on their faces. They're like, we're not impressed. But what makes them love him is the fact that whenever he's doing his dance, he gets like these like what was it like beer glasses or
Beer pitchers.
yeah, and he just smashes them on the ground, and then they start
Damn.
laughing, and they're like they start loving him right after that.
They're like, this guy knows how to party. I like him. I like him.
I thought that was hilarious. That was yeah, that it's the little things that makes me laugh, like stuff like that, you know. But and then after that, he gets on a motorcycle. They give him a motorcycle, and then, of course he wrecks right
Oh,
away.
yeah, there's multiple hospital scenes
Yeah,
too, I think.
is there?
Yeah, because he goes into the hospital right after that, has a
Yeah.
dream
Yeah,
in the hospital, then sees his bike on TV, goes to Hollywood. Then after the pet shop, he goes to another hospital, right?
I don't think he goes
Oh,
to
he
a
didn't go to
hospital.
the
No, he didn't go
hospital
to
at
a hospital. He was unconscious. He was unconscious, but he woke up on the on
the
on the
stretcher.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
Or on the sidewalk,
Okay.
and they're like, "Oh, you're under arrest,"
Damn.
But but yeah, and okay. The dream scenes. I liked those. Those were very Tim Burton. Like the dinosaur, which was a callback to the dinosaur that
Oh, yeah.
Huey and Simone were in, and the clown scene too was pretty good.
that was creepy.
And I like the music too that was playing in the clown scene. We didn't even talk about Danny Elfman's score, which I love.
Yeah, it was
Like,
good.
I think this is honestly my favorite of his scores. I mean, I like his others too, which of course he does almost every Tim Burton film, of course. But he actually didn't do Ed Wood, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, it even sounds like him, but it's
yeah.
not.
I mean, I'm sure they were just like, do Elfman, but you're not Elfman, but try.
Yeah, but Beetlejuice has a good score.
Mhm.
Edward Scissorhands. I love the Batman scores
Yeah.
too. The Batman theme is really cool. That's my favorite Batman song. Is the Danny Elfman one.
You don't like the?
No, I do not. I do not like Hans Zimmer. The fucking Dark Knight score can go to hell. I hate that. It's two notes and the first note goes on for fucking forever.
It's tension grabbing, dude. It's full of tension.
Oh, Hans Zimmer sucks. I don't, except for Pirates of the Caribbean. That was good. But,
I mean,
ugh.
I think he's good. I don't think about him that much, you know?
Yeah.
He's not on my mind.
Danny Elfman is way better than Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
But
Different style, man.
but anyways, I love the score though. And the song that was playing in the Clown Dream is that a little fact here. The band Primus actually they actually played that song before they went on stage on like a tour that they did.
That's so funny.
Yeah. There's actually a commentary on this DVD with Danny Elfman, which is really cool. Just him talking about his scores of the film. But he even mentioned on the commentary about Primus using some of this at their shows.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, and he thought that was pretty cool. Just he said that he saw like people in a mosh pit to the score.
Yo.
It's pretty awesome. I love Primus, by the way, great band.
Classy.
But,
Classy.
Too many puppies.
They suck.
But yeah, I loved Danny Elfman's score,
It had a thumbs up from me.
and yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we could say. We're almost at the hour mark.
Well, and also, we've got to go sometime.
We do. We gotta.
It is.
We gotta show. What time is it?
6:12. So
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
should
So maybe we should wrap it up.
wrap it up.
I can't think of what else to say. So let's just give our thoughts overall. So
I want to hear your thoughts.
okay. So I gotta say, like I said, this is one of my favorite comedies. I think this is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Just, I was laughing pretty hard, wasn't I?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is a James comedy.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the only other movie that makes me laugh even harder is probably The Room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but this is probably a close second of funniest movie I've ever seen. And I just love it. It's like I said, it's not the best Tim Burton movie, but it is my personal favorite. It's
that.
just
I like
yeah,
that.
I love it, and I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Like it's in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. If you've seen my video of that, so yeah, I love this movie.
Nice.
So all right, so what are your thoughts and score?
So man,
Rating?
I was worried.
Yes.
The first 30 minutes, I keep bringing that up. I was thinking about because I was thinking about this. Like I was like, man, like what would I rate it in the first 30 minutes?
Right.
And I literally would have given it a 5 out of 10.
Mm.
Would have given it a 5 out of 10. And then the movie changed my mind. I saw more of it. I saw um, the humor in it. I feel like it had a bunch of cartoonish humor, but
Yeah.
it was also like kind of subtle too. Like there was some like subtle jokes in it,
Right.
and which I really liked. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
so I think as it went along, as I met all these good characters, I think it bumped it up to. It's basically an 8, but I'd say a 7.8.
7.8.
I'd say it bumped it up. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. I would say it's a good comedy.
I think you gave Taxi Driver a 7. Which do you like better? I know you gave Slacker an
Uh,
8.
man,
I mean, they're two completely
yeah.
different films, of course.
Uh,
I could say I like Taxi Driver better because of my top 3, but
I'd probably watch Pee Wee's
You-
Adventure more.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Taxi Driver was inspiring and stuff, and I like the soundtrack, and I like how it looked and stuff, and I like sort of like the possibility of political violence. I find that stuff interesting.
Uh-huh.
But I think this one was more like inspiring for me. Like
Yeah?
I was like, oh yeah, like it had some of my sense of humor in it.
Right.
It freaking had cool, creative ideas.
Nice.
It was absurd. Yeah, I think
Awesome.
the last 45 minutes really brought it back. Brought it
Yeah.
back. So yeah, I'd probably say I like this better. That was a
Wow.
long-winded
All right.
saying, but
And Slacker?
I like Slacker better than this one.
Okay. All
Um, now
I like this better than Slacker too.
Slacker was funny. If it had
Yeah.
a few more zingers, man, it would probably be like top 10 movie for me. But
Yeah.
feel
I mean,
like
this is much more of a comedy than Slacker, though. For
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah.
yeah, yeah, 7.8.
All right. Cool,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad you
Yeah.
liked it.
There we go.
Nice.
I know, me too.
I mean, you liked all the movies I showed you so far for this show. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
you're in the positives right now.
Yeah, that's good. Um,
It's gonna be hard for you to get below like a 5, I think, or even a 5. I think it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll see what else I can pull up my
Yeah.
sleeve.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I got a few others. I still want to do Man on the Moon with you,
Mm.
and also Last Night in Soho, but we're gonna have to find a earlier time to watch that since that's I think a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
But I was wanting to do that today, but I was like, I don't know if we'll have time.
Yeah. You made a good choice.
Yeah. So
One little
Hmm.
one little tidbit or one little hint or something. This movie reminded me of True Stories a lot.
we need to watch
We need
that.
to watch.
We have it right here.
My
I
copy.
borrowed it from him. Yeah.
I love that movie.
We might need to. Do
Fantastic.
you want to do that one sometime for
Yeah.
an episode?
What was okay? You said
It's a David Byrne movie.
yeah, that one and what's the fucking other one you said today? Like earlier in this podcast, you were like, I think it's another
Man
one.
on the Moon.
No, Raising Arizona is what it was.
Raising Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah, those two I think we should watch as soon as possible.
Okay.
That'd be really fun.
Oh, you all right? I was gonna say maybe we could watch something else that's not really like a comedy based, but
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
since that's a comedy, but kind of mix it up a bit
Yeah.
because I also want to show you Leon the Professional, but since that one's kind of similar to Taxi Driver, I want to wait out a little bit on that one.
you.
So I do want to. That's another one we could watch sometime.
Yeah.
I think that might be 2 hours too, but
Big chunker.
we'll find the time.
Righteous. Well, we're creeping up to 1 hour.
Yeah.
Gotta-
All right. So yeah, you said 7, whatever, 7.
Yeah, 7.8.
7.8, 10 out of 10. So yeah, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, great film. Yeah. All right, so thank you again for watching episode 3 of Your Cousins Are Critics. We're already at the hour mark. There is one more thing I want to say though. So I mean, all right, I think this will be up on the 24th, I believe.
Oh.
Saturday 20 next Saturday, yeah, this is 24th. So
Christmas Eve.
so yeah, we're almost to January. I will be returning to do other videos in
Your regularly
January.
scheduled
Yes, I am. And the first video I have planned, I don't know if it will be the first Monday of January, but it will be a live stream of me ranking every single movie I have watched for the first time in 2022. So yeah, so look out for that. It's going to be a big video. That's why I'm going to live stream it because it's going to be long. So yeah, so look out for that sometime soon. That will be the first video I'll do. I'm starting to think maybe instead of 2 videos a week, I might just do one. It might be easier.
Yeah.
And I'll do, of course, one week movie, 1 week music, 1 week movie. And the next music related video will either be my review for Phoebe Bridgers' album Punisher, either that or which I'm still working on at the moment, or my ranking for the Beastie Boys discography. One of those two. I don't know which one yet. Possibly the Phoebe Bridgers one because I'm still working on the Beastie Boys. I got 2 albums left to listen to. So, yeah, I should have finished while I was on break, but I don't know. Been slacking.
Been slacking.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so I will be coming back to doing other videos sometime soon. So I know I'm kind of cheating on my break by releasing these videos, but they're fun. So yeah, and I like doing videos with this guy.
Yeah.
So all right. So anyways, so thank you again for watching. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. And we'll see you next time. I don't know if I'll do one of those videos before an episode of this, or I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I'll see you soon.
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
Bye. Bye.